Hey, welcome to Her Authentic Journey, the podcast. I am your host, Navasia Collier, woman, soon-to-be wife, mother of 3, and the former strong, independent woman. Along my journey, I discovered the secret key to the more in life is in your authenticity. This podcast is about becoming unstuck in who you thought you had to be as a strong, independent, maybe the responsible one, and become who we were meant to be. Myself and other resilient guests will share what we only wish someone shared with us early on. Topics, tips, lessons learned and unlearned while on our personal journeys of becoming true to who we are, not who we've had to be. Now, this purposeful, resilient life that you and I are meant for not only requires authenticity, it is also intentionality. Steering you away from just pushing and getting through life, we believe in the Method on Purpose roadmap of mindset, environment, time, honesty, obstacles, and the doing all work together to begin designing a life that is and feels more purposefully fulfilled, a life you actually love. So tune in, come along, join our Facebook community, and begin your authentic journey today. Okay. Welcome back to Her Authentic Journey, the podcast. Today, I have a lovely guest. Her name is Feticia Thompson. Feticia, just jump in and let us know who you are.
Peace and love, everyone. Tuning in to the Her Authentic Journey podcast. So, yes, I'm Fee. You can also find me as Conscious Universe on all social medias to describe me. I consider myself a holistic healer. I'm a creator of what I call high vibration creations. So I work with herbs and oils, all natural herbs, oils, essential oils. I make candles, I make jewelry. I do daily affirmations on my social medias where you can find me as well. And I'm just here, as I always say, my gifts are not my own. So you take what you need and leave what you don't. So I'm just here for the people who are here for me, and that want to enjoy that journey with me and see my journey because as I'm going through my journey, I'm also able to assist and help others because it's authentic that way.
Absolutely. I love it. I'm excited about this interview for a few reasons. For one, you are from my hometown.
Yes.
Over in New York, very small town. We weren't necessarily friends, we didn't hang out or anything. But yet, when I was on my defining moment of beginning my journey, for some reason, after I said my yes and began on my journey, for some reason, you were one of the people that kept popping up on my radar. I noticed, God can be, he's mysterious, funny, and very strategic in a lot of ways. And I noticed that once I said yes, when I knew that continuing things in the way that I couldn't continue them any longer. I had to change something, had to change in my life. Once that began, there were a few people and a few things that came in alignment once I said the yes. And you were one of those people.
Wow.
On social media, popping, just different things. And for you, what stuck out with you is not necessarily the fact that, we want to do the same things or we have the same purpose or all those things. It was more so that we came from the same place, right? I know that you're a mom, just like myself. And the look and how you were showing up, I could see that it was a sense of peace. And it seemed like you were showing up more as yourself. Right. It was like a sense of happiness and peace that I kind of seen in your eyes. I like to say that I have a gift of observation. I've always said that. Like I can see things usually that most people can't really see. I wanted to shed light on that. That's why I'm happy that you're here on this podcast, because seeing you show up in that way, like I said, it doesn't necessarily mean that, we don't always have to follow the same path. We don't have to always do the same things, but yet seeing you made me feel more okay with my yes. Made me see that it is, possible to make a change or a shift in your life, right? And that at some point you had to say yes to something as well, right? For you to be at the place that you would have arrived or are arriving to. So I would like to get more, if you don't mind getting more into that, about what maybe sparked the journey or how the journey has been for you. But first, I want to say to the audience, please do not ignore the nuggets, the messages, and the words that may be popping up in your radar. It's usually something, God or
it means something.
A message
something.
needs to land in some way. And sometimes, it could come in a different forms of messages from different people. I just want them to know that don't ignore it. Pay attention.
Be observant. Be observant of your surroundings.
Yes.
Because
be very conscious.
Everything is for a reason. That nothing is by coincidence. And like the great Abraham Hicks says, there are no coincidences. There is only cooperative incidents. So like everything is always working out the way it's supposed to be, whether it's desired or undesired. That's how you learn what you do want. It's right. Things that happen to you that you don't. So I would say I grew up with a mother who was very spiritual, holistic and spiritual. So that was always in me. Although I grew up in a church, because this is what you're a child, you do what you're supposed to do. Parents, grandparents say we go to church, then you get up and that's what you got to do. So all throughout those years, like church, it was great for what it was, the community and, being able to speak other children. And, I was acting in plays and doing lots of things. But when it came to like the Bible part and the God part, some things just didn't measure up, or I didn't receive it. I didn't understand it. And it just didn't feel right to me. So moving along, like my mom, she was sick when I was growing up. So I was kind of like her caretaker as well. But it was days she couldn't make it to church, and it would be fine. Like she says, you know what? My relationship with God is between me and God. I don't need a middleman to provide that for me. And she said that sticks with me to this day. And that's always a part of my story. And that made so much sense. So, throughout my life, I still continue to be in and out of church. But again, it never felt right to me. So I think my spirituality just came from me wanting to know more about I know there's a higher power, but I don't know if it's exactly what is being said or presented to me. Like I felt like I needed to journey that on my own. And just like, I don't know, I think I had a relationship that I think kind of woke me up a little too, because I noticed the patterns that I kept repeating. And at some point you got to look in the mirror and say, I am always the common denominator in anything that I do, meaning you have the power to change what you're doing. It's not about anybody else. It's always, always back about you. Mirror, mirror. You keep attracting the same things, same situations. It's because of you. And we need to change our mindsets around that. And that was a big part of in the past 3 years. That relationship was like 3 years ago. And I realized that I was just settling, and I would, be blamed like, oh, it's always me, which, okay, it kind of is because I'm allowing it. But it gave me introspection. And now I just move forward. Like every experience is there for me to learn more about me and for me to get to my higher self. It might sound selfish, but it's really self-care. I call it self-full. As long as I'm self-full, I'm able to pour and my abundance can flow into others. So with that, I just continue. I started doing my affirmations probably about 2.5, 3 years ago. And it's just changed my life. And between the affirmations and meditation and the books that I read, the things that I listen to, what I consume is more than just what I put in my mouth. Like I don't listen to certain things, I'm listening to affirmation music. I go to bed, solfeggio frequencies, all of this stuff to raise my vibration. And I'm on a journey, and it's forever evolving. Mm-hmm. You met me today, tomorrow you're gonna meet me and I'll be somebody different. So.
That's funny.
Long story short.
Yes, I agree with so much that you said, especially the part about things work for you until they don't work for you anymore. Sometimes we get to a place where those old habits, those old ways will not really advance you. They won't really get you much further. It can only take you but so far. Right. So it's about, like you said, self-introspection and kind of looking at yourself and saying, who am I? Where is it that I want to be? What do I have to do in order to get there? Right. So I really, really love that. You mentioned affirmations. I love affirmations as well. Mm-hmm. But you have a good spin. I love your spin on affirmations.
I just stay present with my affirmations, because when I don't, I notice people will come to me and say, well, where's my affirmation? Like, people are looking for it. So even if one person says to me, wow, that really helped me, then I feel good. And I will say this, affirmations only work if you know them to be true. Like, you can't be saying something and you have to make it your own. That's one big thing I say too. Don't, just because I said this, if it don't resonate with you, switch it up. Make it for you and tailor to you, because that is how they work. And I will even say, make up your own. This is just inspiration for me. Like, I make up my own every day. Sometimes I take bits and pieces from others, but I make it and cater it to me and what I need, because that makes it more believable for you. That makes it more real. And I feel like that's what you have to do with affirmations. You can't just be saying it and you don't believe it, and say it with power and repeat it. That's the biggest thing too. I've started in the last 2 months doing whatever I say in my affirmation, repeat it 3 times, because that repetition helps to plant it there. So.
Right. Yes. I do affirmations as well, because I find what we think essentially becomes what we believe, and then we believe influences our decisions, the choices we make, the beliefs that we have. So for me, I really think that it is important to surround ourselves with more positive thinking. And I'm sure you agree with this, because now that I use affirmations and I'm more in a positive mindset and mind frame, I can reflect back to all of the negative or the words that have you standing still.
Right.
Like earlier today, I had came across, as I was journaling, for some reason, it came up the saying of just get through it. Mm-hmm. You'll be fine, just get through it, kind of a thing. That always had me in the mindset of go mode. This is a fight. I just got to fight through things all the time, which is an example of, how you think is what you believe. And then essentially the choices you make. I can say I honestly thought that's what life was at one point, that it's just about how well you can handle the struggle, the battle, or whatever you may be facing. But affirmations really help me to, set the tone for my day. Because if you begin with one positive thought, it opens the door for another one and another one. And it opens up your mind to see and accept more positive. But it's not always that we're not surrounded by the positive. Sometimes we just can't see it because we're so
because where focus goes, energy flows.
Exactly.
So whatever you focus on is going to find you, and you'll find it. So if you focusing on the negative stuff or stuff that you complaining about, you create more to complain about. What you appreciate appreciates. So that's what you need to be. That's how I move. Like I'm human. My mind does sometimes go over to the negative, but I snap back real quick. I'll be like, you know what? It's gonna work out, because it depends on how long you stay there. Of course, we're gonna go back and forth, but you just can't stay there. You shouldn't stay there. I ain't gonna say can't.
What is one word of advice that you wish you knew sooner?
I think I said it already in this, that everything that's surrounding me, I created. I wish that I knew, how can I say this? I'm thinking of, because I'm doing poetry now too. And I've written a poem that has something to do with this, that everything that happens is because of you. Like you're responsible for it. Nobody else. Like, you're responsible for yourself. You can't put the blame game, point the fingers. Like I said, I just think about all the relationships I've had in the past and how it was like, oh, this. What are you doing? What are you focusing on? Even if you're in a relationship where it's something that you don't like, get focused to the things that you do. So more of that can happen. And then maybe that will change that thing that you don't. So yeah, I just really think that's probably the biggest thing that I wish I knew sooner. The laws of attraction, and how anything that I put out, you're going to receive it back. That vibration that you're on. The vibration that you're on is directly correlated with what you receive.
Okay. Definitely. Can you define what a journey means to you?
A journey is, I won't say it's never ending, but I feel like it's more about the journey and not there is no destination. The journey is the destination. And that goes again with living for now, being here, present in the moment. And because you can't change what happened, and I guess you can kind of influence what's going to happen, but if you stay there too long, then you're not living for now and you're missing out. So like, my now is my never opportunity wasted. So journey is now. Journey means now. Live for now. Live what makes you happy, what makes you feel good, and all the rest of that stuff, don't pay attention to it. Don't give attention to things that it's two monsters. They just say, which one you gonna feed? I see now, I think about cartoons when you're little and it had an angel and a devil. Like that makes a lot more sense now to me. Like
Right.
and I don't really believe in good, bad. That I just believe it just is, and it's about perception and depending on what's going on in your life. But definitely you got two ways to go, and you can't go to both at the same time. So you got to choose. It's like a tug of war. So which one you're gonna allow to consume you.
Right. Okay. I have to agree with you with that, with the journey. Once I like to say that I chose the journey because I believe it's a decision to stop trying to chase the destination that is, no one has actually arrived yet.
Right. You never arrive.
So, right. You never arrive. So, right. So to me, the journey is about experiencing. I realized for myself that chasing the destination, I missed out on a lot of things that were right in front of me. You can be physically present, but not, mentally and emotionally present. So for me, the journey for me is about experiencing each moment. It's not always going to be good, but there's something to experience in those not so great moments as well. There's a lesson, a blessing, something, a memory. Your life is unfolding every day, each moment. It's about you being aware and conscious of the things that are right in front of you. So along your journey, have things shifted in your life as far as your surroundings? I'm asking that because, I believe in the Method on Purpose roadmap. Your mindset, your environment, time, honesty, the obstacles you face in the doing all work together to help you to move into a more purposefully fulfilled life. So how did your environment play a factor once you chose your journey?
I found myself not being with friends or people that I used to be with because they resonated with who I used to be. And they vibrate with that vibration of what I used to be, which means they're not going to be able to vibrate where I'm at, where I'm going on this journey. So I definitely found that I won't say my support system, but the people around me, the company that I kept, it changed definitely, drastically. And, I'm not mad at it. I still love you. If I see you, it's respect, but I just know that everybody's not meant to be with you on the journey or to go where you're going. And that a lot of people that I heard somebody say this the other day, I forget his name, but he said how people can be compatible with your struggle, but not be able to be compatible during your success. And I'm like, wow, because if y'all both not growing simultaneously, then you might be left behind. And that's what I say. I say, I'm going to continue vibrating higher because I know what's for me will meet me there. Like, I'm not going to lower myself or, it is what it is and it's okay. And I'm okay with that. So that would be my surroundings, like with people. I changed my eating habits. I don't really consume much meats. I don't do dairy. I'm on a holistic journey. Like I've been going to the chiropractor for holistic, neurologically based chiropractic care. I've been doing that for like 3 years. So I barely have to really see a real doctor. But because, it's about keeping your spine in line and making sure that your body is functioning. Well, because you can have things going on and you don't have symptoms for it. And I just love it. I love the chiropractor. And me and all my kids go. So that has changed, being more conscious of holistic body, mind, spirit. So it all go together. Yeah.
Good. Wow. Okay. I like to say that once I began my journey that I found the secret key to our more is by being true to who you are, not who you've had to be, your authentic self. I kind of I found that out as I was going, like all the world and all it expects is for you to show up as you. We're all unique. We're all different. And we all bring something different to the world. So trying to, fit into either the labels, the protocols, or the roles that we play in each other's lives.
Right.
Kind of, like you said, it causes you to minimize who you truly are. So once you kind of embrace and, this is my authentic journey, means that every day I'm growing into my true self. Even, along the journey, I've seen my releasing of myself kind of shows off in other people, right? Sometimes people just need to see it. But I believe that the secret key to our more is as you activate your authentic self. And we have to learn to be okay with that. And a lot of times, like you said, your environment can kind of keep you closed in and can make you feel, for instance, I'm a mother. And I just felt that a mother has to be a certain way. I have to be a certain way. I have to show up a certain way. I can't do much for myself. I can't want these things and I can't want more, which was part of what attracted me to you, because I knew you were a mom. And that was when I said yes to this journey, that was what was holding me back. I'm like, because I love my kids. I love being a mom. I love my life. But at the same time, there was something in me that was like,
where's the love for Navasia?
She had to say yes. Like, now I know I can see that it's possible. You know, God's been telling me it's possible, but I see that it's possible.
I am not the labels that you place on me.
Yes. Exactly. And to speak about authentic and authenticity, I define it as being true to who you are meant to be, who God says that you are, not necessarily who you've had to be, what you've been through, where you come from. We like to, well, in our, Black and brown communities, it's like, this is who I am, take me or leave it. We could have that kind of an attitude. But
I've always been like this. This is who I am. This is it.
Right, but not realizing that all, like you said, all the labels, all that we've been through in our experiences kind of pile on. It's like layers on top of who we were truly meant to be. And we could kind of sometimes lose touch of that if we don't keep tapping into that. Right. So how do you maintain and continue to tap into your authenticity?
Consistent reminders that be who you are. Don't lower yourself. Don't minimize yourself. Show up. Be authentic. Be you, because that way you receive authenticity. When you give it, you'll receive it. You're not going to attract people who feel a way about you being your true self. When you let them know from the gate, well, this is what I am, then there's no room to kind of like, oh, I have to learn who you are and then it's going to change or something like that. Definitely maintaining, doing my meditations, doing my spiritual work, my shadow work, like being there, knowing that I'm forever evolving. And again, it's a journey. I'm always learning. I say I know a little about a lot. Like I'm just always every day and journaling, learning more about me, writing my poetry, affirmations, and just being able to be a light. I've been called a lighthouse a lot. And I feel like, yes. And, but sometimes lighthouses need maintenance too. So I'm okay. And I accept that. And I do my own, I go within, and sometimes I may need to talk to somebody, and that's okay too. Cause I do find that's how I felt. I used to always give, and not be able to take. And that is a form of self-sabotage. You're blocking your more when you're not able to receive as much as you give. Yeah, like even down to little things. I can think about my children ask me, Mom, you need help with the bags? Oh no, I got it. Just because I like little stuff. Somebody offer me something, I say, I ain't blocking the universe blessings. Yes, thank you. I'll take it. And I used to not be able to receive. So that was a big part of kind of peeling back those layers, is being able to become a receiver rather than just giving.
Wow, I love that. Like so much about that, especially even the lighthouse needs maintenance too. That's really, really good. Is there anything else you want to add or anything you want to talk about?
So this is something I wrote called Get Out Your Head. Cause I notice I be in there a lot. Sometimes you just gotta let it go. Let it go, let it flow, let that shit go. So get out your head. Get out your head. Replaying what's happening, what happened, and how you can change it. For once, let it go. Allow what to be. It's not your business to know how and when things shall be. Just know that it's a win. Meant for you, already written. Upon the scroll, it's in the plan, divinely in order. Take your stand. Get out your head. Just be. Stop doing. We are beings, not doings. Everything is always working out. In the end, it's in betterment. Get out your head. No worries. Just faith instead. Know that all things are aligned, meant to be, already assigned. Get out your head. No coincidence, no happenstance. All that happens was meant. Take a chance. You are your ancestors' wildest dreams. Becoming of you is the possession of them. Beyond perception, tune in, it's your selection. You are here to make your impression, improve the you so you can improve the message that you send, that you receive. It's reciprocated. Get out your head. All that's needed is inside you. What you give attention to will grow, flourish, flower, and bloom. On the other end, what you deprive will likely die, fade, return to sender that wasn't received, vibrations too high and elevating. Moon and sun, divine feminine, divine masculine, balance accordingly. You are the yang and the yin, all within you, like a scale, both sides an equal veil. Get out your head. What's upon you, what surrounds you, you're in heaven. Heaven is now here. Heaven is nowhere, but also now here. Place a space between the W and the H, and you are now here. Be here and now. For your time abounds, explodes, impedes, stampedes. You plant the seed to water, to nourish, to cherish. Watch it flourish. Get out your head. Be woke, please spoke. So
that was amazing.
I be in my head. So I'm talking to myself. And if it resonates, great. Like,
yes, get out your head. That was for all of us. Listen, that was for all of us.
Get out your head.
That was amazing. That was amazing.
So I have so much in my mind to do, and that's a big thing about me being a creative, that I have to kind of chunk things down. Like, okay, we got to focus here, follow one course until you're successful. So, but I definitely want to write, like, either whether it's an affirmation book or you can just put my poetries in a book. But it's coming. I've been doing music. Like, I'm just tapping into all it, or this stuff is tapping into me. I say, I guess I'm receiving the downloads, and that's what happens when you vibrate on a higher realm. Like, you vibrating differently. Like, things that come to me. Like, I just left my job. I left my nursing career of 20 years in June to pursue, my passion and what I feel like is my purpose, which is just raising the vibration of the collective consciousness. And whether that's by my creations, what I say, what I speak, what I'm writing, whatever comes to me that, I feel should be shared, then that's what I'm going to do.
I love it. I can't think of a better way to close out with that poem. Oh my gosh, that was great. That was great. Now tell us where we can find you.
Yes, so find me most all conscious universe. So that's spelled CONSCIOUS _Yoni YONIVERSE. Conscious Universe. And I keep a link in my bio for my other pages, because I do have my business page, which is Fees Focus Jewels, and I have the Conscious Universe page. But you can find a link in the bio. That's on Instagram. On Facebook also is Conscious Universe. I also have TikTok. That's Fees Focus Jewels. But they all connected. Once you find one, you'll find the others.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for doing the interview. It was a pleasure to have you.
Thank you for having me.
You really served us with that. I'm ready to get my mind together.
Right. Yeah. Get out of it. Get out your head.
Yes. Thank you for listening to Her Authentic Journey, the podcast. I hope you enjoyed and were able to grab something meaningful from this episode. If so, please support by sharing with a friend, rate and review. You can also refer to our show notes for more. Until next time, remember, be true to who you are, not who you've had to be.